Have you ever wondered how to turn one of your designs into a rubber stamp? Today I'm taking behind the scenes to show you how to set up your file, get the perfect engrave settings, and make that stamp look professional. No complex design software is required, just Canva. This is what we will be learning today. We're going to take our design from Canva, bring it into the Glowforge software. We're going to engrave it on laser safe stamp rubber. We're going to have the perfect engrave settings, and then we're going to have the perfect stamp. In the description below, I'm going to link all of my favorite items that I use for today's project. First, starting with the laser safe rubber, and then the 1/4 inch MDF, and then other things like E6000 and an ink pad. We're going to start by going to Canva.com and we're opening any size board that you'd like. Your canvas can be any size, but I typically like to start with a square canvas, either 10 by 10 or 12 by 12. That way when you're designing everything you can center it because you'll get the crosshairs in the center. Now to let your creativity flow, we're going to create our design and we're going to make sure that it's high contrast by using black design on a white background. The bolder the design is, the better it will stamp. For this example, I'm just making a cute little stamp to add to the outside of my packages, but if you have a small business, you can always add your logo and just make sure that everything is in black and white so that it stands out and will stamp correctly in the end. Once you're done with your design, we're going to get it ready to engrave. We're going to start with our font. We're going to go up to the top. After we click our font, hit Effects. Under Styles, we're going to hit Lift. The lift effect will give us a nice shadow that will create the base for our stamp. Doing this creates a stamp shoulder, which is a tapered supportive base on a rubber stamp design that prevents the edges from breaking and improves the print quality. This is very important to have, especially if you do end up creating something with thin lines. If you don't have any fonts, you can move on to this next step, which is taking the design elements and we're going to do the same thing, adding a shadow behind it. We're going to click our design element, we're going to go up to the top, click Edit, we're going to go down until we see shadows, and then we're going to click Glow. We're going to scroll down and we're going to make sure it's on black, and we're going to make the size roughly 26 and the blur amount as much as you need. We just want to make sure that there's enough that it looks like there's going to be a feathered edge on it. Once we're happy with our design, we're going to go up to the top, hit share, we're going to hit download. We're going to make sure that it is a PNG file, so it's flattened. We're going to hit transparent background, and you're going to make sure that you're on the correct page that you want to download. We have a couple more steps before we can bring it either into the Glowforge program or any other laser cutting program. In that same file, we're going to open a second page that's blank. We're going to upload the PNG that we just downloaded. I like to crop the area around the design, but that's just a preference. I like to scale up the image so that it fills the entire board. This next step is probably one of the most important steps. We're going to highlight our design and we're going to go to the top and we're going to flip it horizontally. You want it to be reversed, that way when you stamp it, it stamps correctly. For this next step, we're going to take a shape, whether it be a circle or a square, whatever reflects your design best is what you're going to use. You're going to take it and you're going to put it over the shape, and then you're going to position it to the back. That way it's all the way behind your design. You're going to see in a moment why this background is very important to have. Once you have the two centered, we're going to click our design. We're going to go up to the top and click Edit. We're going to go to Adjust, and we're going to scroll down until we see under Color, Invert. This is the part where everything's going to come together and become the stamp. We're going to grab our background shape and we're going to turn it black. So this is going to be the negative of the original design that we created. When your design is situated, we're going to go back up to the top. We're going to click share. We're going to hit download. We're going to make sure that, again, it is a PNG, and this time we're going to create a transparent background. I would also like to mention that I'm sure there are plenty of different ways to create a stamp in Canva or any other program. I used to use Photoshop, but recently I decided to try out Canva and it worked out very well. Alright, let's upload this to Glowforge. We're going to start by creating a new file. We're going to upload the PNG file that we just downloaded from Canva, making sure that it is the reversed image that has a black background with white design. Once your design is uploaded, we're going to go up to the top where the materials are. We're going to click Thick Clear Acrylic, and then we're going to click our design and we're going to scale it down. A tip for scaling is that you can use the ruler on the sidebar to scale it to the exact dimensions that you need. Our next step is to edit the engrave settings. We're going to set the speed to 310, the power to 93. Under grayscale, we're going to do varied power. I'm going to leave the screen up for a second so you can copy the settings. I'm constantly sharing my favorite tips and how-tos to help with your own DIY journey. To make sure you don't miss the next project, subscribe and like this video. It really helps support my channel. Now we're going to add a backer for our stamp to sit on. We're going to upload our original PNG file that is forward facing into the Glowforge software. I went ahead and uploaded a square design just to cut a simple square out for the backer shape. You could do a circle, you could do a rectangle, whatever best reflects your design you can upload and cut. You can center that design over top of the shape that you're going to cut out. I'm going to make sure everything is on the right setting, so we're going to engrave the logo and we're going to cut the square shape. You're then going to cut it out and engrave it on whatever material that you'd like. I just used a draft board in this case and it worked out perfectly fine. In the past, I've also used a 1x2 piece of lumber, and that gives it more of a sturdy feel in your hand and more of a professional look. Now to assemble and clean up your freshly engraved stamp. When you engrave it, you're going to be left with a lot of ash from the rubber, but that's easy to clean up. All you're going to need is either a toothbrush, or I like to use an old paintbrush, and you're just going to sweep out the ash, and then after that, you're going to give it a good cleaning with some rubbing alcohol. I just use regular rubbing alcohol, but I like to put it in a little spray bottle to make it a little bit easier to apply. After the cleanup, we're going to take a pair of scissors and we're going to cut around the stamp that we just engraved. We're going to try to keep it as close as possible to the engraved area without ruining the design. If you notice in the stamp that I'm cutting, this was my test one, and I didn't think about adding the circle like we added in Canva until this point, where I realized that I could have added a circle and had a little bit room around the stamp instead of cutting up along the stamp. Just jumping back to what we designed in Canva, the areas that are engraved on the stamp are the black areas, and the areas that we left white are the red areas. This is why you want to add the circle in the design to give it a little bit of a buffer. But with that buffer, you don't want to add too much because the more you engrave, the longer it takes. I think when I originally put this into the Glowforge software for a 2.5-inch stamp, it was going to be like 48 minutes. So you have to be mindful of how much you want to engrave. Now we're going to attach the stamp that we just cut out to the backer piece. We're going to take a little bit of E6000, make sure it's all the way spread to the edges. Sorry for my hand in the way. But you're going to spread it all the way to the edges, and then you're going to press it against the draft board. You can even use some clips to clip it down. I ended up doing that after the fact because mine started to peel up a little bit. But if you put some clamps on it, it'll stick. Let it dry for about 45 minutes to an hour, and you should be good. Alright, let's test that new stamp you just made. When you're adding ink to your stamp, try not to wipe the stamp across the ink pad. Dab the stamp on top of the ink pad. This will help with getting more coverage of the ink on the stamp. This is the workflow that works for my specific setup, but one of the best things about laser cutting is that there are a dozen ways to reach the same result. You can definitely use my steps as a foundation, and don't be afraid to tweak them to fit your own machine and style. I really hope that this tutorial was helpful for you. If it was, please leave a comment below, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop those below as well.